Posted by u/xbloodyred XXX. Entitled Brother steals $2,000 that I was saving to pay my bills and destroys my custom-built computer, and my entitled mother tries to evict me out of my house. Sorry for it being so long. I am a 21-year-old male and I live alone, and my entitled brother, who is a 15-year-old teenager, and my entitled bipolar mom have had a love and hate relationship. The brother I am going to talk about has stolen money from everyone in my family. That includes aunts, uncles and my great-grandma who is 86, but it was a never substantial amount, like anywhere to $1 to up to $140, which is around 1 day of pay for my mother. My mom has worked really hard but treats me differently than my brother. For example, I have to do everyone's laundry and dishes, and he has to go put pairs of shoes together and will try anything to get the finer things in life, including cheating on her spouse for someone with a bigger wallet. I finally completed my second tour and bought a 2 terabytes PC hard drive for my gaming PC with the extra money I had. I sent a picture of my gaming PC, which in total cost me around $1,600, on Snapchat showing my friends I finally finished it. My brother, who I forgot was my Snapchat friend, called me and asked if he could come over and play on it. I told him straight up no because he broke my Xbox Series 10 and my Oculus last time he came. He started screaming at me and said that I should give it to him like my Xbox and Oculus. He runs to my mom to get me to let him have it. She tried to use the "I gave birth to you" routine, which caused me to hang up on her. The next day I went down to the local Sharp Shopper for food, and I got a text message from my phone from my landlord that 2 people were banging on my door, so I hurried up and finished shopping and raced home to find my brother, my mom and the landlord sitting there waiting for me. My little brother spots me and starts crying in front of the landlord, saying I stole his computer like a Karen in any store, and my mom starts screaming at me for hanging up on her and not giving my brother the computer. My landlord decides this is a good time to leave. So, I shuffled because I had to go inside to put my food down, so once I put the key in the door, they attempted to push me aside. I turned back and pushed my brother back, and I knew if I touched my mom, she would start screaming "OMG, he hit," and I might get a noise complaint. So, I put my groceries and my credit card down. Warning, dumb decision. My mom walks around taking pictures and sends them to her friends saying this is the home she is buying. My brother goes straight for my game room, which he can't open because there is a padlock on the door, which causes him to scream. My mom, who is still taking pictures, yells at me to do it. I eventually do it because a child I was a horrible person. Warning, second dumb idea. My brother races towards the PC, which he tries to turn on, but I haven't installed the ISO, so it won't start. So, I tell him that it needs to install stuff, so I tell him the Wi-Fi password. Warning, third dumb idea, because he won't have been able to access his game. So, once he just chills out on my couch playing Roblox, I start calling out for my mom. She didn't respond. I check around the house to see what she is doing after checking the entirety of the house. My brother, who has been there for around an hour, asks for food, so I get him an MRE, not a military-issued MRE, because I have started to like them, and he goes up to the restroom with his phone after eating a bite. My mom calls me and tells me to clean her house, and I ask her what. She tells me she's on her way back to her house with her friends. I hung up on her. Not even 2 minutes later, another call from, believe it or not, it wasn't from my mom but my bank, saying authorize the purchases. I got my mind screwed up by this because I haven't paid for anything except the groceries mentioned earlier. So, I get on my bank's mobile app and see it's all from Roblox, so decline it, and I hear my brother start screaming bloody murder from the restroom. So, I quickly checked to see if my credit card was, and you may not believe it, but or not, it wasn't there. I was checking that my brother came downstairs. In one hand was his phone and the other was my credit card, and saying he can't buy any more Roblox. Me how is angry, but I think he just wasted like maybe $200, so I don't check my balance. Warning, fourth dumb idea. And, if you're wondering, I had tunnel vision causing me not to see the amount of money, so I scold him and I take my credit card back. So, he wanders off to the dining table to finish eating, then he goes to the game room. The real problem has just begun. So, 7 minutes later I hear a knocking on my door, and it's my mom and her friends. They come in and tell me how lovely my mom's house is. I open my mouth to speak, but my mom cuts me off and says I am a homeless leech, I should do something with my life. Her friends think this is hilarious, but since they have been friends over the years, I start releasing the dirt, like for example her best friend had sex with one of her other friends' husbands, and then I tell her and her friends to leave my home and ask my mom where's her key if this was her house. While arguing I hear a crash and screaming coming, so I start running to the game room. I see my brother with his foot in the glass of the PC screaming. I help him get his foot out of the PC and wrap it in with the gauze, and I help him to the car and take him to hospital while my mom is still screaming because I exposed her and her friends. After my brother was taken care of, I attempted to pay for it, but I didn't have enough money to pay his bill, So I looked on the bank's app and saw that he drained my entire account on Roblox, so my mom had to pay, which meant she criticized that I have such a lovely house and I can't even pay for a medical bill. I banned them from my house until they get their own problems taken care of. Edit. For those who keep saying that I keep letting them walk all over me, and it's because I have a 5-year technically stepsister. The reason I said technically is because she's more of a sibling to me than my own brother that lives with them, and she is the nicest person there, and I didn't want to lose the ability to see her. And for those talking about me not calling the cops, how do you think I keep them from trying to get back in? Let's just say I didn't beg and plead, and now my mother can't get in with 50 feet of me. I am going no contact with my mom and my brother. Last but not least, I am not moving because I live near the base I work for, and there aren't many nice houses that are being rented out to people near the base that aren't army owned, meaning less pay for a place to stay. Now on to the last story. Posted by you/throwaway61565. AITA for literally showing my dad how he behaves every day when he gets home from work. My F-16 father M46 is the breadwinner while mom is a SAHM. She handles everything around the house like cooking, mopping, washing, laundry, etc. I'm the oldest and I try to help, but really there's only so much I can do while my dad just gets home at the end of the day and literally complains about everything. Like how the carpet isn't clean or how the food is cold. As a result, I'd have to listen to a huge argument daily between him and mom. It's exhausting, but honestly, I think that my dad is in the wrong here. I tried talking to him to get him to see how his behavior is, but to no avail. So, what I did was pick a day off for him and pretend to act like him. I put together an outfit that looked like a suit and put black tape over my lips to look like a mustache. At 6 p.m., I went inside the house. Shouted I'm home. Then sat next to him in the living room and started kicking my shoes while complaining about the state of the house at the top of my lungs. He glanced at me confused, asking what I was doing. I ignored him, then started yelling about the carpet being dirty, shower not ready, the kids needing to be quiet, and so on. He kept staring while mom and my siblings laughed. My youngest brother kept pointing towards me saying, "This is daddy." I then proceeded to yell about dinner, then berated my mom for not preparing it before time. My dad stopped me and in a serious tone asked what I was doing. I turned to him and said, "What? Can't a man effing rest after working long hours?" In the most macho voice I could muster. My dad got the hint because this was the common phrase he uses daily. He went quiet and avoided looking at me. I stopped the act and told him I was trying to show him what he's like every day when he comes home from work. He said nothing, just went outside and refused to speak to me. Later he went on about how I mocked and invalidated him. That he does work hard and me doing this was disrespectful and invalidating. Mom said it was funny but also thought I hurt my dad's feelings and I could have gotten the message across some other way instead. AITA? Now on to some comments. Posted by Mini Universe. NTA. You held up a mirror to his behavior, and he didn't like what he saw. That's on him. I hope he gets the message. Neither Entrance 208 responded with, he didn't even realize he was looking in the mirror until the end. Then all the feelings crashed down hard on him. Hopefully, he'll learn. Good job at figuring out a method that illuminated the situation. Posted by Benevolot Caesar. NTA first off, but I think you have a good chance here. Listen please, you can acknowledge, "Hey dad, I know that probably did hurt your feelings and I'm sorry. Of course, you work hard and provide for us, and we appreciate it, but I want you to see that your behavior hurts mom's feelings, hurts the family." The fact he went quiet, instead of exploding in anger, to me says there is hope. Like many dudes his age, he struggles to process those emotions, but he recognized he was feeling more embarrassed, hurt than angry it seems. The key is to understand and withhold judgment, to recenter the convo on not just his pain, but everyone's feeling pain, and moving forward. That's tough, and you're a kid, it's not your responsibility to do it. You would be morally justified to say F off. But I always ask, do you want to win, or be right? Being right often feels hollow. I hope you win. Edit, there's so many kind replies, so firstly, thanks to those folks. Secondly, appreciate the awards but totally unnecessary. Excel_pager_420 responded with, I just want to hop onto this excellent comment to add I would also recommend you having a private chat with your mom. Explain to her that me acting like dad wasn't just about pointing out his bad behavior towards you. I also wanted to point out how your marriage affect the whole family. The daily fights and dad's yelling affects everyone. We all feel it when it gets to the time dad is due home and we prepare to listen to our dad to be mean to our mom. It affects all of us knowing our dad doesn't respect our mom. Every day we all watch your hard work. We have started trying to help you out because we know our dad doesn't appreciate or respect the hard work you do. It's so bad that younger brother recognized I was pretending to be dad so quickly, yet dad didn't know what was going on until the last minute. But what affects me the most is knowing that despite all this, you always put dad's feelings first. Before your own and before everyone else's. Even now you're more concerned with how what I did hurt dad's feelings, than you are concerned by how dad's behavior affects the rest of the family. Brother strongly associates that behavior with dad while dad apparently has no idea, he behaves like this, and your priority is me apologizing to dad. Not changing this dynamic between you and dad. Or asking dad to apologize to us for making our atmosphere at home so awful every time he comes home from work. Agreeable Celery 811 responded with, yes. Tell your dad that you're sure he works hard and that's not the point. The point is that he is treating his wife and his family with disrespect, and that it is affecting all of you. Nobody deserves to be treated like that, and if he didn't like what he saw, he should change his behavior, that you expect him to, as his daughter. Tell him to think of the model he is representing for his kids and point out that the younger kids recognized your parody right away, and that he owes the family an apology and to shape up. And that how hard he works, you're sure he works hard, is not in question here. His behavior towards his family is, and he chooses how to behave.